Listen, our next speaker uh, truly is. It might sound a little partial, y'all, because she's my daughter. So I just want to thank the Father for being able to help pour into her life and as far as this journey goes, and being able to see her grow in not just in ministry, but just to grow in that lifestyle, in the work, and the things that she does for the Most High. And so I really am excited today. It's ironic that she happened to land on the same day that Pop is speaking too. So I guess you could say it's a tag team situation. I got my sister, my daughter, and myself. Wow, that's crazy, ain't it? And so I want to present this to some of you and introduce to others my very own daughter and our beloved sister, Minister Susan Smith. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hello,
Hey.
sis.
Hi. Okay. I'll put my timer on so I won't, go on. Okay. Here we go. So,
You got to worry with the timing. I got you. Trust me.
all right.
We're gonna hit the button.
All right. All right. So today I want to reflect on I was giving numbers 9:5. Which says, and they kept the Pesach or Passover on the 14th day of the first month at evening in the wilderness of Sinai. So according to all that Yahweh commanded Moshe, so did the children of Yisrael. Now, when I read this, the Ruach HaKodesh began to open my eyes to the to look at like a deep obedience that captured in this one verse, right? So it's not just about a group of people following instructions. It's about people in the wilderness wandering, uncertain, uncomfortable, like still choosing to obey. So even when the land didn't look promising, even when the future wasn't clear, they paused and remembered Yahweh's deliverance. Okay, so the verse shows us the heart of Yahweh's people, obedience rooted in faith. They weren't obeying Moses or Moshe just because he was the man in charge. They obeyed because they recognized that the command came from Yahweh. That's the first thing that we need to take to heart in our own lives, that we don't move just because of what people say. We move because of Yahweh, because Yahweh speaks. Now, we look at the Passover. Let's get into Passover. Back in Egypt, like what it means, back in Egypt, Yahweh told his people, they had the land to prepare and how to prepare and everything. And it's just not any way, and then we had the blood over the doorposts. And that blood, it wasn't just a symbol, it was a covering, a protection. And Yahweh is saying, you're mine. And when destruction comes, it will pass over you. And let's not miss this part. So they were told to do it every year. Yahweh established Passover, and it became like the law. It's something that we have to follow, right? So if we bring that into modern day time, Yahweh's word is still alive. We're not in Egypt, but we're still surrounded by like the systems today. Bondage, spiritual, emotional, even like the economic chains and all that other stuff. Right. And Yahweh is still delivering, right? And like our people, we are still called to remember, to obey and to follow the Lamb, Yahweh Shai, our perfect Passover lamb, they say. And when he gave his life, his blood became our covering. And that's why we don't walk in fear. That's why we don't compromise, and because of his protection. The instruction was like, eat all the lamb, and that resonates deep within me because in today's culture, people want to pick and choose parts of the truth, and they want Yahweh's love but not his correction, and his blessings but not his boundaries. But to eat all the lamb means to receive all of Yahweh, his ways, his teaching, and his sacrifice, and yes, even his discipline. Um, and for the Israelites of Passover, like it wasn't just a ritual, it was a reminder of their deliverance from Egypt, their celebration of Yahweh's faithfulness, and a sign of their ongoing covenant relationship with him, right? Even though they were in that dry, uncertain, uncomfortable place in the wilderness, they still kept Yahweh's command. This shows their commitment to honoring Yahweh, and even when the circumstances weren't ideal, the shared act of keeping Passover reminded them that they were set apart people, rescued and chosen. The obedience united them in the purpose and identity of Yahweh's covenant community, right?
Yes.
So in modern times, just like the Israelites celebrated Passover, we're called to honor Yahweh even in difficult and inconvenient seasons of life. Whether life feels like wilderness, lonely, uncertain, and chaotic, we can still choose to obey him. Obedience is not a convenience, it's a commitment. So the modern believer doesn't keep the literal Passover, but we are called to remember him as our ultimate Passover lamb, which is in 1 Corinthians 5:7. By communion, prayer, worship, the word are all our ways we can remember Yahweh Shai has done for us. We stay spiritually grounded when we consistently look back. Their obedience, they stay faithful. If you stay faithful today, it speaks volumes to those around us. People are consistency, peace, and purpose in us when we live out our faith, even when life is tough. So we notice that the verse said, according to all that the Lord commanded, it shows that Yahweh cares about the details, right? We may not live under the Mosaic law, but Yahweh still just keeps falling, sorry. Still desires intentional obedience, and not just through the motion, but seeking to please him in both big and in small ways. So if I was to look back, for me, it means that I can't go forward in this walk on my own terms. I must go forward according to Yahweh's commands, not tradition, not opinion, but by his word.
Yeah.
Right? The Passover reminds me that Yahweh is still separating his people, that he's still calling us out. We're out of Egypt, he's still calling us out of Egypt, not just physically, but mentally and spiritually. And Yahweh's people today, you're not forgotten. You're still covered, you're still chosen. And like the Israelites in the wilderness, you may feel like you're that in-between place, but Yahweh is saying, obey me anyway, remember me anyway, celebrate your freedom, even while you wait for that promised land, right? So I would say today, let's choose obedience. Not because it's easy, but because it's holy. Let's eat all that lamb to receive Yahweh Shai and walk in the covering of his blood. Because even in the wilderness, we're not alone. He is with us. And the Passover is not just about the past, it's about our identity, our calling, and our future. And Yahweh sets his people apart. And it's important to follow the Passover as, like I said, it's a remembrance. It was a command and a law given by Yahweh, and it shows our obedience towards him.
Hallelujah. Beautiful job. Beautiful job. Hallelujah. Thank the Father for you, minister, and such an awesome job. Well done. Job well done.